Greetings, gamers. How you doing? I'm back. I skipped this past Sunday because it was a bit of a sleepy head, as as happens sometimes. There we go. We are posted to the socials, and we're good to go. Um, yeah, we'll let people stream in. Uh, I have a Batterskull in my deck. Um, there's uh, a couple different reasons for this. One is I don't know. I just really like having giant lifelink equipment, and I've definitely felt sometimes like I really wanted like one more source of life gain in the deck. Sometimes, um, I also just think it's important to like think back on all the reasons that Batterskull got cut over the past year or so. And it has. Let me actually start music while I'm saying this. Um, a lot of it has to do with the fact that there were just so many um, creatures that just like couldn't be blocked. Um, Batterskull was pretty rough in the grief era in particular because you were just dealing with like grief and troll and just a million creatures that have menace or some form of basically can't be blocked. Um, and even when we get to like past that, but still with Psychic Frog, it's like, well, if every threat in the deck is flying anyway, it's just no reason to have a ground pounder. Notably, the format feels like it's more low to the ground lately. There's not as many flyers around. Um, I haven't myself run into one, but I have heard tell of some what's it called? Corey Steelcutter Delver-ish lists, um, which can definitely, I imagine, kill you pretty quick. And Batterskull might be able to help with those. I cut one of the formal wares for it, so I'm gonna make sure I keep track of when I wish I had a second formal wear versus when I'm glad that I have a Batterskull in my deck. Um, it might just suck. I don't know, but we're talking about it a little bit in XJ Cloud's stream this Tuesday. And I don't know. We're gonna try it. Who cares? It's one card. And hopefully I will get to put Cauldra and Batterskull on a single germ token. I miss getting to do that. I'm going to go ahead and pay my entry fee, and then we will wait for a little bit, and we'll get in there. And then obviously we'll do a giveaway at the end of the third round, probably, unless if the second one goes like super long and there's a bunch of people around, we'll do it then. But otherwise, I'll assume we'll do it after round 3. I should go back to the list. There we go. I forgot to fill my water bottle. I'm probably going to go do that when we do the giveaway, which may not be do it after round 2 in the end. We'll see. But yeah, that's about it. Things have seemed relatively stable in Legacy as of late. Not much is shifting around. Bugbean's doing all right. Occasional Stifle Knot list. Still like Oops, Moon, Stompy, Blue Black at the top. I would like to play against more tempo matchups, but I feel like we really have not been playing against very many of those lately. I've been watching streams over the last couple days, and it feels like every time I open a stream, someone is playing against blue black. Um, and I want one thing that I've been kind of mindful of lately is that like Kaito is a nightmare. That card's just so hard to beat. Um, and I don't really know if there's a any like just easy one card you can put in the deck to just have an extra answer to it. Could maybe it could be like the Path to Exile is like a Council's Judgment or something like that instead, or just like cut one of the Wrath of the Skies for one, something like that. I'm not sure, but um, I think Kaito is a big stupid meanie, and it's probably on the short list of cards I'm like most thinking about in terms of like they're hard to beat, and I feel like I should do something to make my deck a little bit better against it. But that's about it. As a heads up, I have just this week also started working on my next matchup primer. It's been a very long time since I did one because there haven't really been many times this past year or so where it felt like there was a matchup worth writing about that wasn't at risk of changing by the next banned and restricted announcement. Um, but I am going to talk about a deck that has been around for a very long time at this point, which is Moon Stompy. Still very early on in it. I have aspirations of also making a video version of the article. Um, I have some ideas floating around in my head on how I might be able to do that. No promises at all. Just, just telling you what to be excited about. So, um, and we'll see when I get that done. There's a lot to talk about, I think. So, uh, is this? Yeah, okay. Two songs in a row from the same album. I had to make sure it was actually shuffling. It is. It's just one of those instances of randomness appearing as not random. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into the queue. We'll see what happens. All right, we're in. We are on the play. I like that. Interesting. Nah. This is a lot better. Let's put one of the vials back. Lead turn 1 Thoughtseize in the blind. And then we get to play vial, hold up swords. My opponent's also going to 6. Cool. All right. Let's get Thoughtseize. Interesting. Madness, maybe? This almost looks like a hollow one deck. I don't really care about any of these on their own. Faithless Looting is probably the most troublesome. I think I just take it. It's weird because they can flash it back, but like I don't know. None of these cards individually matter, so I think I just want them to not be able to Faithless Looting because whatever they're going to be doing with Faithless Looting is not fair. I'm going to go ahead and guess that, so. All right, third Aether Vial. I guess I probably could have just played the second Vial instead of holding up swords, but I do want to draw lands. It's not the worst. Interesting. I think I'm probably going to waste this Badlands. I've got 2 Vials taken up. I think I'm going to wait till their upkeep. With the Street Wraith, I imagine not super likely that they're going to miss the next land drop, but I'll just keep them off of like a Flashback Faithless Looting or whatever. Okay, just another Badlands. Is this a Bowmaster? Yeah, that's totally fine. Arena of Glory. Fascinating. Okay. Fascinating. All right, cool. Do I want to keep him off black mana or off of haste? Yeah, I'm just keep him off black mana. I'm just gonna try to flash in Thalia as a surprise blocker here, I think. Okay. Fine with this. I'm still waiting on this Thalia because if they decide to cast something like a Faithless Looting here, getting to Violent Thalia, keep them off anything else. Oh. Yeah, this works. Actually, shoot, this is kind of annoying because now that sort of makes me have to go after this Bowmaster. I guess that's probably fine, honestly. I could swords, Bowmaster, Violent Thought, or I could just do I just swords the Bowmaster and then let the Burning Inquiry resolve. It's like is there I'm not sure that a random card in my deck is better than Athalia here. I think I'd just rather have the Burning Inquiry mill 3. Yeah. It is very annoying for them to make me have to plow a Bowmasters, but that's how it goes. Okay. What's up? What's up, friend? How's it going? Plains, Bowmaster, Backstreet. Well, I wish I had a Bowmaster, but such is life. They discarded Bolt, Goyf, and Wooded Foothills, so that's gone. All right, well, I have like 500 answers to this in my deck, so. And plenty more that also at least buy a turn. Very likely just going to chump with Athalia on the whatever this is. Oh boy. All right. I wish I could have thought seized one of these dumb cards instead of seeing just a handful of removal I don't care about. I cut one formal wear for the Batterskull. Hey, I still got one. That's all right. I feel like my opponent is not very well versed in Moto because they are taking forever just to pass through priority. Also, because their deck doesn't look very good. I might lose to it, but okay. It could be real. Please cast a Burning Inquiry or whatever. Worst case scenario, it's a lot of trump blocking. They might end up flashing back the Faithless Looting. That wouldn't be bad either. They mill with Faithless Looting. Well, just play a land and flashback Faithless Looting. Rats. Come on, let me go. All right. This is just too much damage for me to take it, so unfortunately it does force me to use the Bowmaster here. I will ping down their Orc army. And then I'll just throw the 1/1 in front of the marauding Mako. Tarfire. Interesting. I guess they have Barrow Wave. Okay. That sort of makes sense. Okay. All right, deck. Give me something good. We're going to go to 3 and 4. I can cast almost anything. Oh boy, fetch land is pretty rough. I can't even use it here, so yeah. So I think we have to, at this point, I think we're down to, now we're just dead. I was probably supposed to keep the Heath in my hand, but yeah, okay. Okay, let's not die this time. I get some extra removal. I doubt this is a matchup where I want Cabal Therapy, nor is it one where I want... I guess Thalia is not horrible. This probably is a matchup I want Batterskull, honestly. Maybe just cut a Wisp. Yeah, I'll go with that. That looks fine. Yeah, no reason for Containment Priest. I had to think about it for a second. Yeah, it's got removal. Got removal. We can surveil a couple times. Got a Wasteland if their mana's bad. One problem with the wastelanding them when they have so many cycle of cards with like looting and street wraith and whatever means that there's not a whole lot of value in in just wastelanding. Okay. What do we got? Perfect. Do I think my opponent has Street Wraith? I think I have room to respect it here anyway, so. Oh boy, okay. Yikes, my friend. These triggers do not work in their favor either. All right, what do we lose? We lose Phantom Blade, Skyclave. Yeah, so AppNat means that we just get them. I'll do one extra just in case of Street Wraith. Cool. Glad to still have Plow in my hands. Oh yeah, my Bowmaster is already in play. You're right. I forgot. I was thinking about like if it only works if they Street Wraith like in response to me casting a Bowmasters. Yeah. So never mind. Well, I think the best thing we can do here is just Stone Forge for formal wear. Hold up swords. They didn't miss lands. That was their second turn. Actually, now that you're here, Eli, first off, I'm very behind on ASL. I literally just started watching it today. But much more importantly, yeah, sure. This is all fine. It's a 5/6. I think I'm gonna kill it because then this lets me wasteland them back. Yeah. So or do I just formal wear back? Yeah, never mind. I was gonna formal wear back my Stoneforge. So JR and Aishanaz mentioned that they were watching some Korean reality TV show. And that there was a former pro Canadian StarCraft player on it. And I asked. Apparently, Gur is just no. Okay, I thought that no, it was not Artosis, but it was Gur, like 2000 like best player in the world Gur. And yeah, I had that same thought of like he's not Canadian, but yeah, it's on his Wikipedia page. I had no idea. It was so funny when they were like, wait, when I was like, wait, you have to tell me his name. And they said Guillaume. And I was like, oh no, not that kind of French or not that kind of Canadian. But it turns out, no, it was that kind of Canadian. But yeah, I've literally only watched round of 24 Group A, but even that on its own was like kind of crazy. Is round of 8 best of 7 now? That's so sick. I love that. All right, cool. Yeah, even just the round of 24 game, the like 5 or whatever that I've seen have all been really good. So I am very excited. Hey Batterskull, what's up? Unfortunately, if this had 2 lands, it'd be a snap, but I really don't think I can keep this with the risk of only 1 land even on the draw. This is the same thing, but worse. Great. I guess. When you get around to it. Okay, yeah, I'll let you know. I almost played a Wasteland on this turn, but I think if they don't go for a Surveil, it's just too bad. I also get so much value out of surveilling myself, so. Guessing this is a Bowmaster on their part. I don't really want a Witch Enchanter, thank you. Stoneforge, I'm more interested in casting. Yeah, I'll just Stoneforge for formal wear. I think my only comment so far on this season of ASL is why does I'm not gonna like name it. Why does that map look like that? You know what I'm talking about. All right. No, it's Death Valley, I think. No, I'm thinking of I actually don't remember what the map is called off the top of my head, but it has a distinct shape in the tile set. I'll say that much. All right, sure. All right, formal wear. Just formal wear stay in my hands. That's what I'm asking for. New content for American Sign Language. So true. Fuck. Fuck. I'm DMing you what I'm referring to, Eli. Skyclave. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and recruit for. I'm not sure what I'm recruiting for actually. Could be a Bowmaster. So I have something against the next Faithless Looting or Burning Inquiry or whatever that they cast. I could just do another Stoneforge just to have a lot of hits, obviously, there. I think it's one of the 2-drops. Mm, no, let's go for Stoneforge. More consistent, I think. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? That's kind of how I felt looking at it. It's like, do I think they mean it by that? No, probably not. Would it be nice if it looked different? Yeah. Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure. I think I am unironically about to get a Batterskull, so that's cool. It's either Batterskull or Cauldra, but I think I like Batterskull because if they kill my Stoneforge, it's more Batterskull is pretty easy. We just need a one land to cast it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that. And I'm thinking about playing the Thalia. But I think I would rather Surveil here. Nethergoyf resolves. Nethergoyf is both good and bad news for Batterskull. It sucks that it's often bigger than a 3/4, but also gains you a lot of life, even if it doesn't kill it in combat. It basically negates the Nethergoyf attacking either way. I think I don't need that right now. I think I am now fine casting Thalia. Not going to wasteland them with as many lands as they have out. I'd rather just be able to like hard cast my Yorion in a couple turns. Another good reason to not use Wasteland. Something tells me they are not going to have the time to win their game 3. Or no, this is game 3. I forgot. I forgot I already won game 2. This is every land of the deck. No, they got to have a couple more bad lands, right? They've only milled over one. This surprise game 3, yeah. Whew. Okay. Could recruit for Bowmaster. Could just Skyclave the Nethergoyf. Yeah, I'm just gonna Skyclave the Nethergoyf. Skull on Thalia also sort of piqued my interest. Main reason I didn't go for it is that like I just don't know what's in their hand. I can't imagine what's in. I guess it just has to be lands at this point, right? But I guess it's like barely even playing into removal, is it? Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to just do that. All right, they are. Yeah, they're just flooding out. Yeah, it doesn't. That's why it's not even really playing into removal because it's just like it forces them to use their removal on the Thalia then, and the worst case scenario is I still have a Batterskull. Can't attack that turn, but we also really don't need to. So I believe they are about to cast a hollow one. Kolaghan's command into Toxic Deluge. Calm down. Well, it's not. I don't think that it's a hollow one because that only costs 5 mana, not 7. What 7 mana spell is being cast right now? Literal Kolaghan. Oh my god. I've been thinking about Batterskull smashing, but if they had that, they would have used it before now. I don't know. I guess I could have drop decked it, but it's also not really synergistic in their deck at all. Pyrokinesis. That makes so much more sense. We figured it out. Meat Hook Massacre. That's a good one. I mean, I'm glad it was none of those. I'm glad it was just a pyrokinesis, but thank you for all your help, chat. Their last card like gotta be a land at this point, right? I think it's still worth casting this just to make sure that that's the case, and then I can recruit for whatever. I would love to just recruit for a Solitude, but I can't because of their Wasteland. Nice. Gaming. I think I'm just gonna get a Skyclave then. All I think I'm really afraid of is Barrowgoyf off the top, so I'll just have a Skyclave for that. Oh yeah, because Barrowgoyf is a 6/7 right now. Land, instant, sorcery, creature, artifact. Maybe it is just 5. Land, sorcery, instant, creature, artifact. Okay. It is only a 5/6, so I didn't need to, but this is exactly why I recruited for Skyclave. So I'm a little shocked they aren't wasting me, but I'm not upset about it either. So There we go. That was it was another pyrokinesis. There you go. Nice. Scrub land to replace the one they killed. Do not care if they trade with a recruiter here. Sick. All right. On to round 2. All right. On the play again. I'll take it. Yeah. Turn 1 therapy in the blind. Certainly a lot worse than having a Thoughtseize, but we'll live with it. Let's play Windswept Heath and we'll I'm going to mulling to 5. Okay, maybe I'm just going to blind name Dark Ritual with this therapy then. Yeah, I'm just going to blind name Dark Ritual. What deck do I hate the most? I mean, not necessarily hate, but don't want to lose to the most is the Dark Ritual ones. Oh, it's their hand blows ass. Holy shit. Okay, sick. All right, I will. Oh my god. All right. So I'm definitely, yeah, I'm just gonna therapy this monolith. Grim monolith. Planar Nexus. Okay, cool. Yeah, so their hand is big stinky garbage. They can cast a defense grid if they want to. It is actively, I think it's better for me that it's in play. Do I want a Stoneforge for Cauldra or Thalia? I think I am gonna Thalia first. Just make their life that much harder. How much better do you think therapy is in person where you can try to guess by sleeves and such? Non-zero, legitimately, but not that much better. Okay, their hand is still basically nothing. Oh, I meant to surveil. Whoops. Oops. Still go to damage. All right. Stoneforge gets Cauldra. I am going to just cast the second Stoneforge so that I still get Cauldra in play through Kozilek's commands. This one, I'll get a Phantom Blade just in case of a Glaring Fleshraker. Okay, find the Mystic Forge. The Mystic Forge can't go that far through Athalia, though. Yeah, your anime playmat isn't dumb. Okay, if you say so. So 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do a potential 9 damage next turn. If I just like flash in the Phantom Blade for for +1/+1. Almost no shot I do that. Yep. Wasteland? No. Voltaic key. Okay. Naturally. Unfortunately, with this many keys, they might be able to just power through it all. They're out of mana now, though, so or they still have a land drop, so. And of course, it's an Urza's Tower. Wasting Planar Nexus would still take them off of like 5 mana if I can find one. We'll see. Yeah, One Ring's a hell of a card, huh? Yeah, of course. If only. I go to 4. They cannot activate the One Ring anymore. At least not yet. Huh? Okay, not a Batterskull matchup. Not a Phantom Blade matchup. I can go down A planes, get rid of Sash. Easy to swap one path for swords because they usually have no basics. They're making a series on the Garfield assassination with Michael Shannon as Garfield and Nick Offerman as Chester Arthur. That, huh? I'm not sure how to feel about that. It sounds fun. That's some wild casting. I think I'm gonna shave one Stone Forge. Let's try that. Stoneforge is basically just a clock, which is obviously important, but Thoughtseize into Flute is pretty good. I have 2 Surveil lands in my hand for some reason. But yeah, I think this works. I was having that same thought. The Surveil lands will totally draw us a card. Wait, are you Matthew McFadden, as in Mr. Darcy, is going to be playing? That's insane. I literally just watched Pride and Prejudice with Katie like a week ago. Yeah, you got it. Ooh. Wasteland is worse than Thoughtseize, but it's going to be really nice soon. Interesting. This is really interesting. I think I just have to take the Mystic Forge, just keep them off total cards. This Fleshraker could be scary. Because I don't have any removal for it right now, but I think as it is, it doesn't look too scary against this hand, especially because if they play Fleshraker next turn, it's going to be with no spells, and then they can play Basalt Monolith after that, but that's kind of whatever. So I think I'm going to take the Forge. So that's gone. Yep, Fleshraker. Can I draw swords off the top? No. I could just waste the Ancient Tomb, though. Kind of like that. It's pretty risky, but I think I just need to buy a little bit of time. I'm cool with that. It means the Basalt Monolith is really going to unlock things, but like I'll live with it. No attacks. Hello? I could Flute Key, that's true. Yeah, I think I have to hold up Flute here just to be safe. Yeah, Fluting Key is probably right. It depends. It might depend on if they... Oh, what's this? Oh, is this just K commands? Okay. Just cycling K command, I'm pretty okay with that. Planar Nexus. Still, wait, why aren't you attacking me? What is it with... Do I don't think I spend mana on the Flute now, because like... There we go. That's what we're talking about. Let's see what this Formal Wear gets us. Goodbye. I'm going to go ahead and Solitude pitching the formal wear here, I think. Yeah. So I don't think at this point that I care about flute on key, because all they need is one. I mean, that's a hell of a land. Literally any land though lets them cast a One Ring anyway, and that's what I really care about here. So yeah, let's go. I think I have to cast the Switch Enchanter just to get any power in play. And I'm going to go ahead. Oh, cast. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Basalt Monolith because it just takes them off of so much mana. All right, you have a ton of mana, but nothing to do with it still. I am flooding out like crazy. 3, 6, 79, 10. 10 mana? No, 12. 13, yeah, 13 mana. I think I want to keep this on top because it's weird. So with the One Ring turned off, the worst thing that could happen is they could, if they find like a Beseiju or something like that to get the flute out of the way, that would be pretty bad. Deafening Silence would be a second layer of defense against that. And I'm about to put Yoran in my hand to get more of a clock. So I think that I'll keep this. Yeah. I think that's just pretty good against like the worst case scenario, I think. And yeah, it's true. Like with the One Ring handled, Mystic Forge is the only other card we're super concerned with. Obviously, Karn could be a problem, but oh, that was actually huge. That turned off Metalcraft too. Says workshops tap for a lot less mana now. Is this a Dismember? They just filtered into black mana. Yeah, Dismember. Okay. Dismember on the Orion? Sure. I almost left up Caracas instead of playing Deafening Silence in case of something like that, but I don't know. Yorion dying is not really the biggest issue in the world. Sure, that's fine. Let's get my Cauldra. Nice. God, getting to flute the One Ring feels so good. Mm-hmm. If they have a Kozilek's commands, they could get rid of the Germ, only take 5 damage here. I guess I can also chump block with Spawn if that's what they have, so. Buys them a lot of time, but they still don't really have a way, like a clear path forward here. It just means they die slower. They're not even, I guess they have to cycle it. I don't know. I feel like this seems, this kind of feels worse to me than just exile Germ and then Scry 11, but like obviously they can take 0 damage this turn either way. It's just like making me have to spend the mana to re-equip can honestly like be irrelevant. I don't know. I'm curious what they're gonna end up digging for. They could find a Karn. Karn is probably the biggest concern. Yeah. If they Karn for bridge, then we're stuck for a little bit. Or I guess, no, right. They can't Karn. Right, I've definitely silence in play, so they can't Karn into bridge, yeah. They have to find the creature, like you said. And if they have a creature, I have a plow now, so. Second K command into block cast, third K commands. Gross. Yuck, yuck, yuck. At least they can't do that with the Cauldron Germ, so. It is definitely one of the cards of all time. To be sure. Okay, they left 2 on top, 9 on the bottom. Extremely normal numbers. once. I will put my 5 call triggers on the stack. Another Urza's Workshop. They have a lot of mana still. They have selected Ensnaring Bridge. Bad news. Perfect. We weren't dead to Ballista though, right? Because their workshops tap for 5 right now. This would be Ballista for 5, 6, 7 between Nexus and Tower, 8 from Ancient Tomb. It could be up to 9, including Grim Monolith. Oh, if they still have the tokens left, yeah, okay. If they do that, we can plow Cauldra, notably, to live, but... Alright. Hello? Can I get out of here? What's up? Never had this just get stuck. Alright. Oh, anyway. Okay, that took a while. And as I noted earlier, I forgot to fill my water bottle before I started streaming. So we're going to do the play point giveaway a little bit early tonight. Give me 1 second. Where are we at? I got to bring up the email. Thanks to our friends over at Daybreak Games, who now manage Magic the Gathering Online, I have some codes to give out. They are for 120 Magic the Gathering Online play points. All you have to do is type in the word into chat that I'm about to put in here. And it's the start of the month. So yeah, just only enter if you yourself can use it. Or if you can give it to a friend who can. That's totally fine too. Giveaway Skull, because we're playing Batterskull tonight. Go ahead and put Skull into chat. I'm going to get up and go fill my water bottle. And we're going to let this roll for a few minutes after I get back. I just want to throw it up on the screen to make sure people can see it. There we go. Type Skull. There's that. Unlock it. Bring it up here. There we go. All right. Cool. Yeah. Enter if you would like some play points, and I will see y'all in a couple minutes. What's up, gang? I'm back. Got a lot of entries. Thank you, everybody. Hope you're all having a good time. Thank you for hanging out. Papa Emeritus Batterskull. I have to look at which one 4 was. Okay. Yeah, got it. I actually don't know if I had seen this one yet. When was Papa Emeritus 4 revealed? I may actually have only not seen one since 3, maybe? I don't know. I'm not that much of a Ghost fan. I'm just familiar. We're gonna run this for, let me see. Yeah, they were about 2.5 minutes. We're gonna when my system clock says 9:59, we will be drawing a winner before heading into the third match of the night. Hope you're all doing well, chat. I, for one, have been having a pretty busy last few months at work, but we launched our new product last week and it went smooth, as smooth as anything I've ever done. Sincerely, it was pretty sick. So all right, we got one more minute, gang, to type skull into chat to be entered for a giveaway for 120 Magic the Gathering online play points, courtesy of our friends at Daybreak Games. And we're down to 20 seconds. Oh, Gumanoob, no exclamation point. I'll give you 10 more seconds to enter that without the exclamation point, and then we'll draw. There we go. All right, cool. The boat guy, you have won. I will be messaging you in like 10 seconds. There you go. You have your code. Just let me know if anything goes wrong with it. It's always rigged. Doesn't matter who wins. It's always rigged. Chileth, I don't think you've ever offered me money for anything. Oh, we can get rid of this. Goodbye. Well, they know it now because I had to say it to defend myself. Can't take these accusations just and not interrogate them at all. That would be foolish. Oh no, where did all the opponents go? Oh boy. All right, Tony. What bullshit are you on today? Whatever it is, this hand does not exist against it, so we're gonna mulligan. There's very few matchups I would keep this hand against anyway. Sure. We'll try this. I technically have a turn 0 play, and then I also have Thoughtseize, but the turn 0 play, I imagine, is not going to be real against him. Ooh, we got 2 Thoughtseizes, huh? All right, what's going on over there? Jewel shops, got it. Notably, this is interesting. It's kind of a lot of options here, actually. I think the most... This is really interesting, actually. I think the cards we would like to take the most are either Jewel or Stock Up. I think that taking Monolith so that we can't get Trinisphered is worth something. But does feel a little terrible if he draws like any piece of mana. Because then he can just show and tell the Coveted Jewel and then go off from there. I'm just not sure, I guess, how much, if he has Trinisphere in his deck, he probably doesn't have that much in the way of like Lotus Petals, right? So maybe we just take the Monolith because it's the highest likelihood we get to cast our next Thoughtseize. Yeah. All right, we'll do that. It's just sometimes feels so hard to take mana versus action against a deck like this, but sometimes it's what... Oh, that is a really good Wasteland. All right, so he drew another Urza Saga. Okay. So he's get rid of these first 5. So I think now we take Coveted Jewel, Wastelands, the blue source. We could also take Trinisphere and waste the blue source. It's tough because it feels like with Stock Up, all these cards like feel like they kind of do the same thing. I think I'm gonna take Jewel now, just so that this hand has to find something else to do. Jewel is also notably a lot more possible off of like a monolith into like a Mox Opal or whatever off the Urza Saga, something like that. Okay. I mean, I gotta, right? I think there's a legitimate argument not to, but I think just like keeping him on as low resources as possible right now is just the right way to do this. If only we had Wrath of the Skies, right? Oh my god. Double Stone Rain for white. I guess it would really be sad for my basic swamp in play, but I wonder if there was actually an argument for killing the younger Urza Saga, because the old, that would just be less mana. And they would have that mana. They have this mana in play for 2 turns, whereas they would only have the previous one in play for 1. Curious what he gets off of this. Another Chrome Mox. Imprint Show and Tell. Trinosphere. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I will keep that, but it's not what I'm doing because I'm just going to recruit for Lauren, and we'll start killing a piece of mana every turn. How much of a win percent increase did D&D get from adding a basic swap for a basic place? There may have been a couple other important changes involved there, but it was a lot. Huh? All right. I'll take it. Yeah, I guess not. I don't think he's streaming. He doesn't usually stream this late, so. Yeah, I'll try this. Good against, has game against most things. Yeah, Batterskull's perfect. Don't worry about the really bad Batterskull on this hand right here. It does not exist. Oh, my opponent might be on oops. All right, cool. Well, at least they have ley lines. They cast Jack-o'-lantern. I'm alive. I'm alive. Well, this the Batterskull would be formal wear, to be clear. So you're saying there's a chance. I was actually probably supposed to keep that plains on top, but I was just too shocked by the fact that I lived. Has Skull mattered yet? No. Uh, we have put it in play. I think it would have been I'll say comparable to formal wear. Um, ooh, baby. Um, mostly comparable to formal wear in the game that it came into play, but it was nice. But we've been playing against some stuff tonight for sure. It was against because the first time was against a yeah, sure, that's fine. It was against a hollow one deck. Holding up this plow isn't real, I don't think. Um mm, I'm trying to figure out what's the closest thing to a lock if I get another turn. It's probably Lion Sash. Yeah, we'll go for Lion Sash. I'm ruining their trophy right now too. I mean, ruined. The first game hasn't ended yet, but ooh, can I get another lightweight? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Two, four, five, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Cool. So I can deal 3, or I can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's only the 6th damage that really matters to keep them off of bolting in another the land. Hell yeah. The game ones against Oops do not happen that often, so that feels really good. All right, bringing in all these. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye to you. Goodbye to what else? What else? Don't really want Bowmasters, and I'll cut a Skyclave. Yeah, good enough. Jesus. It sucks that 2 ley lines is pretty. It's really the third ley line that's good, but I think I'm gonna keep this. But the third ley line is the important one to not just eat it to force a vigor, but my opponent's mulling to 5, so it looks like that might not happen anyway. And I have Mind Break Trap for Belcher. One of the better not black sources that I could draw there. All right, they bolted this one. Is cast an Undercity Informer. Okay. Excellent. Perfect. You know, you're right. I did say I wanted a third one. That one's on me. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna Thoughtseize. I think the green card is probably the scariest thing here. Yeah. Therapy. That resolves. All right, well, I know they have to play around my Big Trap now, but that's okay. Cool, they're playing that as a land. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna keep that in my hand. I think I'm just going up to Yorion here. That's pretty good, honestly. Probably gonna surveil this turn. I guess my next turn I'm gonna be putting Yorion in my hand almost no matter what. I do not need that. I guess I'm taking up to 5. Maybe I was supposed to just keep it, but It's actually kind of I feel like I really should not have bottomed that shouldn't have been that solitude. Because if I just get this informer off the board, it just gets a lot less complicated. It's possible I was supposed to just have this Lauren in play as weird interaction too. Being stuck on lands is a little rough. I think I'm just gonna cast Lion Sash here. I still get to hold up Mindbreak Trap. I have 1 Sash. They still have to play through Thalia. Yeah. There's also a path to actually start attacking through the Informer, which is important too. Yeah, I definitely should have kept that Solitude. I was way too hasty binning it. Okay. I mean, is that even better than holding up Flute? I'm not sure that it is. It's just so annoying not knowing whether I need to be playing around Force of Vigor or Charbelcher or both. Because Deafening Silence is okay against the Belcher, but they can just cast it. They can just cast it and then untap and do the next turn. But I guess if they do that, we have the Flute for it. I think I'm going to start with an attack with the Sash. And if they block and force me to pump, then I'll just cast the Deafening Silence. Otherwise, I'll hold up the Flute. Okay. Force of Vigor pitches Elvish Spirit Guide. Their last card in hand is Dark Ritual. So now I just flute the Undercity Informer. This is why having the Solitude... This is why binning the Solitude was bad. Because if I just had the Undercity Informer out of play, this would be a lot easier. Okay, I was like, don't... If you cast a Balustrade Spy, I swear to God. That helps somewhat. So I think here we play Deafening Silence, and then I bounce Thalia and play Leyline next turn, I think. This is such a weird game. Three mana. Not 3 mana. I will take 3. That's fine. Buy your and hold of crop. I think that is. I think that leaves too much of an opening for your opponent. Just kill you that turn, I think, if you don't have the Deafening Silence in play. That's a pretty good one. Let's get rid of the Death Touch creature here. I'm not even gonna bother putting Thalia back in play here. They have so much mana. And they're still under the Deafening Silence, so like the important thing is that like they are very far off from casting and activating Belcher in the same turn without casting another non-creature spell. Land and Arbor has never been played in Legacy Death and Taxes. Used to be played in Modern, but it's never been played in the Legacy version, not in any real sense. But yeah, so to be clear, the shields we were putting down there were mainly against Char Belcher. Yeah, exactly. Um, so what I could do here is Biorion, Violet in, flicker the Skyclave so I kill the next Poxwalkers, flicker the Flute, and put it on Belcher potentially because they're 1 mana. I guess I know their last card in hand is Dark Ritual. But they are close to the point where they can cast and activate Charbelcher, and I think I just want to be safe from that. Although I guess playing Thalia kind of at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But importantly, this doesn't need to be on Undercity Informer while Leyline is in play. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, Flicker Flute, Flicker Skyclave. I will play Thalia again now. So this goes on Charbelcher, Skyclave, the Poxwalkers. They are really making me think of like what are the possible universes where I lose? Because I have so much on lock now. I really got to think about the weird edge cases. My opponent just said, "You're the first person I've encountered on here that actually knows how to play against oops." Okay, I am going to go ahead and attack with these. Forces a chump block on the sash, or they die. Or no, that's a lie. They would go down to 1 because there's only 1 permanent in the yard. Weirdly, I'll go ahead and cast Lauren Killer Lotus Petal, which I should have done pre-combat, but they blocked anyway, so it's fine. Or actually, no, that doesn't matter because there's a ley line in play, so this isn't getting an extra card in the yard. It's still, yeah, it's just been one of the weirdest games against Dupes I've ever played. All right. Whew. All right. Can we trophy him? We'll see. Can we trophy with Batterskull in our deck, but not in play? His hand's good enough against most things. I mean, I wish I had cheaper spells, but it's playable. I definitely recognize my opponent's name, but I don't remember what they usually play if they're a one trick like I am. They're starting to mold to 5, so that gives us some hope. Mulling to 4. Now I feel like I'm dead, but we'll see. Yeah, naturally. Well, I got a Wasteland. We also know for sure that we're playing against the Force of Vigor Oops list with the Disciple of Fraelis, so. All right, just don't have it this turn and let me play Thalia. Hell yeah. Don't need that. Round 2 was, what was round 2? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, round 2 was Mystic Forge. So yeah, you're right. I'm gonna Skyclave the Lotus Petal. Yes. All right. Well, we got to do it again, chat. Can we do it again? Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, 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 good. What was the last card? Oh yeah. I think I cut something else, but I'm supposed to be cutting planes here, I'm pretty sure. I think I cut I can't actually find what it would have been. Let me make sure I'm not. Oh, it's right. This is Path of Exile that I was accidentally boarding in. Yeah, okay. It's possible that I should have a Skyclave over that planes for Charbelcher, but oh no, you're a cat. Oh no, what am I gonna do? My opponent's on 5. I think if this had a second land, I would keep it. As is, I'm not it's hard to tell if like a 6 that could be this good is worth the risk versus just trying to find Leyline versus a 5-card hand. We have 2 draw steps for... I think 2 draw steps towards Athalia is good enough. I'll do this, and then I'll throw Recruiter back here, I think. Yeah. All right, we get our first turn, so that's a good sign. Now that is a nice card to draw in terms of non-lands. Get out of here, Balustrade Spy. No one likes you. Freaky Kuga, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're having a good time. Uh-oh. Well, on the bright side, my opponent, at least half of their hand isn't that important, so... Okay, let's see what they do first. We're just gonna concede. I'm gonna bring in one Skyclave just for Belcher, just in case. Well, I think that exact confluence of events was pretty unlikely, but it happens. I mean, this hand has a ley line and then dies, so we have to mulligan this one. This hand is more keepable, but it sucks playing this against a 7. I'm going to keep it, though. I think I'm going to throw back the Solitude. Okay, so they have Belcher. This hand has 2 mana. I guess that's 4 mana. It really just is Belcher. This hand does Belcher and nothing else, basically. And it does it very slowly, notably. So I guess I just take the Belcher and then I can like start stone raining them in a turn or two. Thoracle in their hand also notably pretty complicated for what's it called? For normal oops wins. Obviously they have therapies, they have ways to do it, but can I afford to not wasteland on this turn? It sucks not having a 2-drop to play after I do it. I think I just have to... They have 1, 2, 3. I think, yeah, I guess we're just going to try buying the time. We at least have 3 lands, so we're going to be able to cast this Wisp in 2 turns if nothing else is happening. Not sure how I feel about them bolting that in. What does that mean? They're just cycling the Jack-o'-lantern. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that was a different one. Whoops. So they still have a Fell the Profane in their hand right now. That's a good one. I'm going to keep that. I think I'm going to focus on the green mana. Yeah. Had to double check and make sure that wasn't actually a creature one. But no, it is not. It is the original green MDFC. Okay, there's the one that I knew about before, so... Do I recruit for... I think I just have to hold up Flute right now, don't I? This flute covers a lot of ground right now. They can't belch me. If they specifically go for if they oops through an Undercity Informer, I can flute the Informer in response. If they go through Balustrade Spy, the thing is that I think they only have 2 therapies in their list, and they have to use 1 on their Thoracle. Now that they're hard casting it, it gets a little hairier, but I think I just let this resolve. Yeah. Holding up this much mana might signal to them that I'm holding up flute, but no, Fairy Macabre. Nobody plays that card. That card sucks. That is interesting. They have too much mana, I think, for Wisp to be good as a Stone Rain. But I'm pretty sure it's good enough as just untapping a land so that it can hold up flute while shortening the clock by a turn. That feels good. You are at 2. I think I'm just going to get a Cauldron with this. Because I think one weird situation we might get into is where I flute Dread Return so that they have to go for make a big Poxwalker board, but Solitude means that their board isn't going to be very big because I'm going to get rid of like at least like a Poxwalker and a bridge or whatever, and then the Cauldron should be able to attack them even if they throw some random cards on top with Memory's Journey. Hell yeah, let's go, gang. Batterskull, perfect. Best card in the deck, not close. Whew. That was like what a grouping of nightmare decks. Forge, a Tony deck, and Oops twice. And we lost a game. That's like actually kind of sick. Ooh, we did it, gang. I got to stretch. I got old bones. clearly, Batterskull is what won this for us. That feels good. That feels good. That feels good. Well, hell yeah. I mean, guys, don't tell anyone that Batterskull didn't win this league, okay? I am legitimately going to keep it in my deck at least for a couple more nights. We'll see. I think the logic behind it. I guess I said it. I talked about it like really early, so I'll repeat it before we bring the stream to a close. The reason that I'm trying Batterskull is I just like emotionally, I really just like having access to more lifelink in my deck. So I have spiritually missed Batterskull, even if I respect that it didn't do its job for a while. But importantly, I think the reason that Batterskull was especially so bad for so long was that like just you go back to the grief era. No creatures can be blocked. So what's the point of having vigilance and lifelink? Because you're just even when you get Batterskull, you are so far off from even having the possibility of gaining life. And even after grief was banned, that was still true with Psychic Frog. And I think there's a little bit more merit to it now, particularly if I mean, again, I can only run into combo decks right now apparently and can't play against any tempo. But I've heard that Corey Steelcutter can produce a scary board pretty fast. And Batterskull against those decks seems pretty good. It's probably still comparable to Formal Wear. I don't know, but hey, I like having Batterskull. I like making my creatures big and gaining me a lot of life. So I'm just gonna try it. I wouldn't try it at home. It's probably better as the second Formal Wear, but you can't tell me what to do. So that's why we're here. The only other thing I think I talked about at the start of the stream is that I haven't done a matchup primer in quite a while. I haven't written an article on that in a hot minute. So mostly because it felt like most of the matchups worth talking about for going on a year were impending a ban at some point. But I have started writing one for Moon Stompy. Very early stages, so no idea when it's going to be done, but I'm excited to be working on that. I have aspirations at least to do a video version of it as well. So we'll see where that all goes. Certainly, you'll probably hear updates from me when it's released to my patrons, and then later when I release it to the general public. So, and I think that is going to be it for me. Thank you, everybody, for joining me to praise Batterskull for all of the amazing things that it can do for us. That was truly a hell of a league. And our good boy Harain is back, so we're gonna go ahead and raid him. Thank you everybody for hanging out. If you're new to the stream, I really appreciate you. Hope you had a good time, and if you would like to see more of this, you can check out my YouTube channel where I have VODs of basically every stream I've done over the past going on 3 years. And I also stream every Thursday and Sunday starting around 8:30 Eastern. So you can find me playing some form of D&T and Legacy basically all the time. So I do have a YouTube channel. You can type !YouTube in chat to get a link. You know what? I'll type it for you. Shit. That command broke? I definitely had that before. Well, that's embarrassing. Anyway, you didn't see that. Thank you, Mike. You're a doll. Thank you so much. Yeah, it worked. Thank you so much. So anyway, yes, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Thursdays, Sundays, about 8:30. We're gonna raid our good boy Harain, who is probably playing a Phyrexian Dreadnought deck because that is like his favorite card ever. But until then, thank you, gamers.